our next stop that day was at the beautiful Alloro Vineyard, and we met winemaker Tom Fitzpatrick out in the vineyard, and just had a beautiful day. You'll see, it was warm and pleasant, and the birds were singing, and we just had a really great conversation with him. And we selected the 2016 Alloro Estate Pinot Noir. All right, we're here in the Alloro Vineyard with Tom Fitzpatrick, who is the head winemaker at Alloro Winery. We're going to be tucking the 2016 Alloro Estate Pinot Noir in your six-pack box. And so I wanted to have a quick conversation here with Tom and let him explain a little bit about what Alloro's about, and also what this land is about, and then the wine itself. So Tom, tell us a little bit about Alloro.
Yeah, so Alloro, we're quite a small producer. Produce about 3,000 cases annually. 100% estate, single vineyard. So this site that you see around us is the source of all of the fruit for all of the wines that we make. So all single vineyard estate, and we're located here in the Chehalem Mountains on the north flank. So you can kind of see behind us this ridge line, which is all Chehalem Mountains, and this is an area where the soils are, the series is laurel wood, and we are part of the new Laurel Wood District AVA, and yeah.
All right. Yeah, so one of the reasons that we wanted to include this wine is to show off this new AVA, which essentially has been sort of carved out of what used to be the Chehalem Mountains AVA, correct?
That's right, it's a subset.
Okay.
Yeah.
And most specifically characterized by a certain soil type.
Yep, it is. Yeah, it's loess, Loess, which is a windblown silt. So I like to think of it as back during the Ice Age, we had glaciers kind of moving through the valley here over thousands of years, carving up the soil, creating layers of silt. And then at the end of the Ice Age, over subsequent thousands of years, that silt was kind of lifted and deposited by winds onto, in this area, north and east facing slopes. So most of what you see kind of behind us is all laurel wood, and so what we have is volcanic parent material with these layers of silt on top from, I'm not exactly sure the exact range, but I think from 2 to over 20 feet of silt essentially on top.
So it's safe to say, though, that the vines that grow in this type of soil will draw from both sets of
I would
soil.
say very dominantly, depending on the depth of the kind of the silt layers, I would say more dominantly that, and that's
more dominantly the subsoil.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's more dominantly the upper layers of the silt. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the wines kind of, the reason the wines from this kind of region and area are so different is because of that reason.
Okay. Yeah. And how old are the vines here at the Alloro Estate Vineyard?
Yeah, these vines that you see were all planted in 1999.
Okay. So just over 20 years old. Yeah. So they've got, their roots are probably down there and
Pretty
firmly entrenched in that
They
subsoil.
are, yep. You always kind of have like these tap roots that go deep, and then you have other kind of peripheral rooting kind of around the vine. They do say that a large portion of the kind of mineral nutrients and water that's taken up by the vines are from the more shallower rooting root system, but with access to kind of deeper with kind of some of those tap roots.
Okay. So last thing that I'll ask you about is the specific wine that we're choosing for our customers, which is the 2016 Estate. Tell me a little bit about that wine, what went into making it, what happened that year, and what sort of your impressions of that wine are versus other wines that are made here.
Yeah, so this is our 2016 Alloro Estate. The intention with this wine, and it's a barrel selection, is it's to be the wine that is focused around really showcasing the personality of this site. It's meant to be a terroir-focused wine that really showcases Alloro, showcases our laurel wood soils in terms of showcasing the profile of those flavors that come off the site. The fruit that's used on that wine are all on this side. A little Dijon 114 at the very bottom, and then just above the row of cypress trees down there, some Pommard, and then more 114 here, and then some 777 kind of over there. And so that kind of makes up the core of the blocks that are incorporated into this wine. And yeah, my focus is kind of capturing purity of flavor or purity of fruit to really showcase the personality of site. 2016 was one of our warmer vintages here. Warmer and earlier. We had an earlier bud break, which, you know, whenever you have kind of this early bud break, it shifts the ripening period into the warmest part of the year for us, which is those grapes are ripening in August into September rather than September into October. Sure. So I think it's relative to other vintages off our property. It's it's a kind of a warmer kind of vintage style wine. A little more fruit forward, but I think you'll all see the classic characteristics of the personality of this site in the wines, which will be kind of the red and dark fruit, so black cherries and blueberries, kind of our classic Italian spices, a little savory note, and some floral aspects, kind of in terms of flavor. And then, as you see, kind of with the classic laurel wood soils, very phenolically generous, so good structure and texture, and dark in color, tending towards ruby in color, tending towards the kind of cool end of ruby, kind of a purple red in color, and bright acidity.
Great. And in your estimation, is it a drink now wine? Is it a lay down wine, or somewhere in between? How long do you think it could go?
Yeah, so it depends on what you like. We don't release our wine. We usually bottle age them for a year before we release them, and don't release them until they're ready to drink. And so this is ready to drink. Great. And people are enjoying it very much, and certainly capable of laying down for a number of years. If you like youthful wine, more fruit intensity, drink now and drink over the next 2 to 3 years. If you like a little bit of complexity that comes with age, you might hold it for 3 years or so, and start to drink it then over subsequent number of years.
3 to 5,
yeah.
Safe to say.
Yeah,
right,
for sure.
All right, well, sounds delicious. I can't wait to try it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for being out here with us today and enjoying this gorgeous day. Those birds are singing. And
Absolutely. Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks for coming to visit with us.
You bet. Cheers.